For Americans across the Rust Belt, automation is the new reality. Many jobs traditionally done by people are already being replaced with machines. But Jerry Duda says the people in Detroit are ready for the change.
Probably more than anybody in the country.
In fact, automation has been the name of the game in his family's business for 33 years. Jerry opened A&J Automation with his father Adam in the late 80s when the original automation boom, as he calls it, began. His job is design and quality control to make sure other companies produce their parts correctly. His 9 employees design and build automated assembly lines, then test equipment before delivering it to their customers.
So basically, we do the assembly process on the floor now. We have a camera that takes a picture, and that picture makes sure that these are in the right position and that they're there.
So is a human putting these on?
A human's putting those on.
Okay,
right.
so this machine basically checks their work.
Checks, verifies the work, and then again pinpricks the part, marks it again to know that it went through here.
He says it's not a question of whether companies want to embrace automation.
They almost have to unequivocally do that, because if they don't, what happens is they will not be able to produce the product fast enough at a rate that their eventual customer can afford.
A recent Brookings study found 640,000 jobs in the Detroit metro area are at high risk for automation in the next decade. That's about a quarter of the jobs in the state.
Our customers buy the equipment to make their bottom line better. Some employment is basically eliminated at a certain level. If you're not technical, then you probably won't be able to get a job, in this industry again, because most of the jobs have moved to basically picking and placing, and eventually those will be eliminated by more complex automation.
How do they know that this machine is more cost effective than me?
This machine is probably comparable to 2 years of salary. Before they had 2 people marking, and people miss stuff. The machine won't miss it.
Jerry says a mistake on a single stud for this specific part could cost between $5,000 and $10,000. A handful of mistakes is equivalent to the cost of the machine.
Now they go to their customers and they say, listen, we're not going to get bad parts, okay? And there's a reason we're not going to get bad parts is because of this.
He says companies typically see payback on his equipment within a year, and the machine lasts 5 to 7 years before needing an update. Companies like his saw the automation trend coming, so they were prepared. In fact, Michigan is ahead of other manufacturing heavyweights, including Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, diversifying its workforce. A recent Pew study says 6% of Americans have already felt the impacts of automation, whether by lost wages or by losing their jobs altogether. But Jerry says there is a way to keep up with the changing demand of this industry.
We really need more people in technical schools, that will do the programming, or that will do the wiring, or that will do the design, and you don't necessarily need to go to a 4-year college to do that. As a matter of fact, it's probably the wrong place to go.
Many of Jerry's employees have been with him for decades. He says a new generation needs to come in and learn the skills of the future, because the reality is they don't have much of a choice.
If they don't embrace it, they'll never be able to keep up with the cost reduction.